It's easy, why thumping on it.
Mr. Biden is now vowing to work the phones this weekend, host lawmakers at the White House in the coming days, and even tour the country to sell the deal to the American people. Sell the deal to the American people. Sell the deal to the American people. How far apart are the various factions? Monica Alba is at the White House with more.
Despite a deadlocked Democratic Party, President Biden still confident today his signature infrastructure agenda will pass.
I believe I can get this done.
Pledging to, quote, work like hell. Pledging to, quote, work like hell. Pledging to, quote, work like hell after a rebellion from progressives held up any votes on the legislation this week.
What is your message to moderates who are frustrated with the delay in the vote?
Everybody's frustrated. It's part of being in government. Being frustrated.
Democrats haven't been able to reach an agreement on advancing the president's $1.2 trillion physical infrastructure package without the still unfinished $3.5 trillion social safety net and climate change plan. The president telling lawmakers Friday the price tag for that so-called human infrastructure bill will shrink significantly.
I'm a realist. I was a senator a long time. I know how legislation gets done.
Conceding the two proposals will have to be linked to succeed.
We could bring the moderates and progressives together very easily if we had two more votes.
But the president's still reluctant to offer any prediction for final passage.
It doesn't matter whether it's in 6 minutes, 6 days, or 6 weeks. It doesn't matter whether it's in 6 minutes, 6 days, or 6 weeks. It doesn't matter whether it's in 6 minutes, 6 days, or 6 weeks.
Step in and say, hey, we're going to take that away from you.
The U.S. hit another tragic milestone in its fight against COVID this week, surpassing 700,000 deaths. But there may be some good news on the horizon. Cases, hospitalizations, and deaths are all trending down, leaving many to wonder if we've finally hit a turning point. Here's Kathy Park.
Tonight, numbers trending in the right direction with nationwide COVID deaths, cases, and hospitalizations all down. At Ochsner Health in Louisiana, hospitals hit hard by COVID, now breathing some sigh of relief, going from more than 1,000 cases at the beginning of August, now to roughly 200.
Would you say that the country is turning a corner?
Yeah, the country is definitely turning a corner. Number one, vaccines. They're working. They're making an impact. Number two, some of the things that we've talked about before, limits in crowds, indoor masks where possible, and testing. Third is really a conscious effort to try to limit cases if someone has symptoms.
In New York City and San Francisco, where proof of vaccination has been required for indoor dining, gyms, and theaters since mid-August, both cities have at least a 70% vaccination rate for one dose. The number is even higher among New York City public school employees, a 90% vaccination rate ahead of Monday's mandate.
The data is clear. When organizations implement vaccine requirements, vaccination rates soar to 90% or greater.
Some of the nation's largest airlines following suit Friday. American, Alaska, and JetBlue all joined United Airlines in requiring vaccines for their employees. Meanwhile, more promising news on the horizon with a new antiviral pill that could reduce the risk of hospitalization and death by 50% among COVID patients. Drug maker Merck says it's on pace to submit the drug for emergency use authorization as soon as possible.
This is a profound game changer to have an oral pill that had this kind of effect.
Kathy, how soon can we see the approval process get going?
Jose, health officials hope to take action in the next several weeks. Once that emergency use application comes through, we should also note there are other companies with similar pills in the pipeline.
It's easy, why thumping on it.